we'll just hop right in. We like don't really do an intro. I don't know if people do intros, but
Yeah,
welcome on the
intro?
podcast, man.
I know sometimes it depends on the person.
Sometimes we do one. We're like, welcome to the Heaven Project, and then
It just feels weird.
It does feel weird. It's not as natural and normal, you know.
yeah,
Like we've been talking for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah,
You know?
let's just keep talking. You know?
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
But I am interested to know more of your story, because you don't really remember this, but we met at a BYU football game.
At a BYU football game?
Right when I got back from my mission. I was like weird. Like that was like my first social thing I went to. And because you were friends with Andrew Beers.
Like at the stadium football game.
Stadium.
I think I've been to like 2 of those my
I
entire
know.
life.
You were dressed up as one of the founding fathers. Do you remember that?
Bro,
You
that was
remember
right when I got home from my
Yeah,
mission too.
yeah. It
Oh
was
no,
like-
I do remember that low
Yeah.
key.
But I wasn't dressed up, and I showed up because those were all my buddies.
Yeah.
And I was the only one not dressed up as a founding father, and I was like, oh, bro.
Well, I
this is
showed
so
up not
weird.
dressed up too, I think. No.
And then somebody like hand you a wig.
Yeah,
or
someone gave me
something.
a wig or something. I don't remember. That's hilarious.
But anyways, that's how we met.
That's
You
so
don't really remember
funny,
that.
bro.
And I think I actually have a vivid memory of this because it was my first social interaction after my mission.
Yeah.
And I had like an England soccer like sweatshirt on or something like that.
Did I call it out or
Yeah, and
something?
you were like, "Oh, I'm from England" or something. Like that. I was like, sick.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would do, honestly.
Anyway, so that was our first interaction.
What a beautiful interaction.
Yeah,
Guys.
truly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let us have our moment,
I
right?
love this moment right here. The connecting
Connecting.
dots.
No, just me remembering that Reuben not. It's all good. So, it's totally fine.
It's in there, bro, I swear.
Yeah.
In the next life, I'll come back. I'll remember. I'll replay that over and over, and I'll
Yeah.
regret this moment.
But what did your life look like before your mission, and then what got you on a mission, and then what did it look like after that moment of us?
Yeah,
meeting?
dude. Bro, my life has been a series of events. Before, I would say, I went to Lone Peak, grew up in Alpine.
Yeah.
Very bliss, very like cupcakes and rainbows my whole life. Like
Same.
everything was just beautiful. Yeah, you Corner Canyon, you know what
Yeah.
it's like.
Us Draper folks.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Just the other side of the mountain.
Yeah, we understand. And I was like, life was just like so easy and so simple. And I was even talking to my brother about this because he just got set apart on Sunday.
Oh, cool.
And he starts his mission. He just started the MTC yesterday.
Where's he going?
He's going to Argentina.
Sick.
And so I was talking to him about the same thing. I was like, bro, listen, like life up until this point has been simple and it has been easy, and you're about to get a huge reality check here soon.
Yeah.
Because like you're driving around in your Jeep and you're like got like your dad's card and like all these things. I'm like, bro, like every day you just hang out with friends and that's all you do. And then all of a sudden you go on a mission, you're just going to be like, what the crap is this? Where am
Yeah.
I living? What am I eating? Who are these people? What am I surrounded? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And it's just like going to be the most humbling experience of your life.
Yeah.
And that same thing is what happened for me when I went on my mission. Like leading up to my mission, I would say like most of my leaders and my parents and people around me, like it was, pretty, average. Like I had like a little bit of a testimony, I would say,
Yeah.
but not anything crazy where I'd like felt the Spirit anything like too profoundly to like speak about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was just like, yeah, I'm 18 now. I graduate high school. I guess I go on a mission now,
So you went just to kind of go, like everyone else.
I would say like I felt like it was like the next part of my life, like the next chapter. Like it was like
Yeah.
everyone else had done it, and like it was like the next thing for me. Like I wouldn't say I really had my own firm testimony up until that point,
Well, in the church, I almost feel like a mission is kind of like college for most other people. It's like
Yeah, for
Just
sure.
what you do.
it's
Yeah.
like the clear next step.
Yeah, and I don't think it's inherently like even that bad either. Like I think sometimes like other people outside the church would think that that's kind of crazy and kind of like culty, But to be honest, like I think it's kind of awesome. Like as a young kid at that age, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know what's best or what's like the best thing to do or the next like path to take. But then like the fact that my parents did what they are, supposed to do as parents, which is teach you what to do next in life. I think they did a great job getting me on a mission. You know what I mean? Like even though I didn't really understand why I was doing it in the first place, they like nudged me enough to like get me out there to experience it. Cause that's where my testimony changed completely.
Where'd you go on your mission again?
I was called to Bulgaria,
Okay.
But then I went to Arkansas first for
Okay.
COVID. So I did COVID for 10 months and then Arkansas. Or, sorry, wait, what did I just say?
COVID in Arkansas for
I did COVID for, no.
I did COVID first.
I went to Arkansas for 10 months and then I went to Bulgaria for my last 10 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was
or
me.
I think it's somewhere around there, something like that, yeah.
Okay. I was the same, but New Jersey and then Brazil.
All right.
It's the same
New Jersey, isn't that where Andrew Beers went?
Yeah.
Is that how you guys met?
Yeah, we were in the same mission.
Okay.
And then Tal and Gowie ran too.
Talon. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, we
I
were all
love
in the same
Talon.
mission.
Love that kid.
Yeah. Wild time during
Dang.
COVID. Anyways, continue with the Mish. How was that a reality check for you? In what ways?
I think just getting out there and having just a different living condition, a different person that I like am forced to hang out with.
Yeah.
These companions, like most of them were just like they're a little bit strange, they're not like the coolest people in the world.
Yeah.
But if anything, it taught me like a ton though. It taught me to get along with anyone and everyone, because like by the end of my mission, the kids who I thought were the cool kids and who I wanted to be companions with ended up being like the losers, bro.
Yeah.
And were the not as fun kids when it came down to like doing missionary work and like really putting your head down. Whereas like those kids who were like the weirder ones, like they had something unique about them, and that unique thing made them an amazing missionary. And just an amazing person in general. Like the kids who I thought I wasn't going to get along with at first, I went out there and I started like being their companion and I started becoming like friends with them. I would sit down and I'd be playing like the most random games with them and just like talking about the most random things. And I'm just like sitting there, I'm just laughing. I'm just like, bro, this is hilarious. Like, where am I right now? What are we talking about? This is just funny. And I just like started getting along with these kids so much more. And it just like spoke a lot to me because, like growing up when I was younger, I always felt like an attraction to like the less like popular people. I always felt like the popular kids were kind of like exclusive and very like, like you have to like be a certain kind of way to like hang out with us. Whereas like the not like as popular kids, like I hate how those are like terms, but they were always the ones who were like the most fun to hang out with and like the most genuine ones. Like there's this one kid one time in one of my home wards back when I was younger. He was like a short kind of scrawny kid, gamer who would sit inside of his house all the time and like didn't get out much, didn't have a social life. And like our parents would always like encourage us, hey, go hang out with them. But like we never really were that bothered by it. And then like I had one of my friends come in and he was like, bro, what are the odds we go try to make him our best friend? And I was like, that'd actually be kind of sick. And so we went over there, we started knocking on his door, like, yo, come hang out with us. He's like, no. I don't go outside. And I'm just like, oh, word, okay, yeah. All right, we'll catch you later. No, we tried, man, we tried. And he's like, no, we're going to go back again. And I was like, I bet. We go back, knock on his door again. And this time he's like, yo, like, can we come inside with you? Can we come play video games with you? And he looks at his mom and nods her head, looks back at him, and he looks at us, and we're just like, yeah, I guess. And I'm just like, word, let's go. Like, we go inside, we play these video games with this kid for like hours. Yeah. And then like the next day we do the same thing. And then like a week later, we're like, yo, like come outside with us a time. Let's go play on the trampoline, or let's go out in the cul-de-sac and go hang out or something. He's like, yeah, I could do that. And like slowly but surely, like he started like coming out with us and started hanging out with us more. And like, until like years later, it's like my senior year. And I just remember like the two cutest girls in the school. I had this picture on my phone of the two like cutest girls in school, like kissing him on both cheeks. He's got the biggest smile on his face, and he's like the most popular kid in school. Like everyone loved him. Yeah. And it was just like, it spoke to me a lot. And like from that moment, I've always like really felt like I've really like naturally gone towards like those kinds of people and felt for them a lot more. Because I always feel like inside of each of our own heads, we've all got like this inner battle kind of going on. And it's like this battle of like me versus myself. Like I always think in my head that like people are all judging me for a certain way, for how I look or for the way I act, the way I talk. And in reality, if you go ask any of those people if they're thinking that, they're all going to be like, what? Like, no, I was thinking about myself, actually. Like, I was in my own head just now. I didn't even notice you were there, if I'm being honest. Yeah. And you're just like, it's wild how, like, we all live in these, like, different worlds in our own heads. And, like, we just are messing with ourselves the whole time, and like we won't allow ourselves to go be the people who like God knows that we can be, and we stop ourselves a lot of the time. And it's fun to like walk up to people and meet these people and like kind of almost like, for some people, help them see it for the first time, but for others, like really bring it out in them and also bring it out in myself. Because like when I can like bring it out in somebody else, it like brings it out in myself as well, and I want to be a better person. Like for instance, like HXP, like going and hanging out with these like 15, 16, 17-year-olds, you know what I mean? Like it's like the most amazing thing, because I'm sitting here and I'm like having a hard time sometimes having a conversation with like young kids back home because I think like I'm too old, too cool for them. Yeah. Then I sit here and I'm like sitting across from them as their leader, and I'm like, dude, like, who are you? Like, what's your story? Like, what do you need in life, and how can I help you get there? It's like so impactful to see the way that like their gears start turning, and they're just like so like obsessed with the fact that you're willing to sit there and talk to them and have this conversation with them. Yeah. And then you're just like, wow, bro, like I can have an impact on these kids' lives. Like they care about the things I have to say. Like this is so cool. Yeah. And it's interesting once you start getting out and like actually having these conversations with random people all over the place. It's just like people actually do care what you have to say, no matter who you are. Like everyone has a unique story, perspective, and like reason for being. And just like getting that out of them, like doing this, you know what I mean? Having these like conversations and like getting it out of people is just like, it's so fun, and it's unique. And I feel like that all came from and because of my mission. And it taught me all those things and how to do those things in like a really good way and in a passionate way. And I feel like that's what Jesus did. And that's what he was trying to teach to everybody, is just to love one another and to go out of your way and to try to meet and talk to everyone and find the one. Leave the huge flock, leave the 100, go find the one. And I think that is like the goal of everything that you guys are doing, that everyone really wants to be doing, and now it's just a matter of actually doing it. And I love too, because I feel like that's also a big part of like what our generation is starting to pick up on, and something that has not been done great in the past. There's like all these walls of segregation all over the world, and it's like, bro, like let's break these walls down. Let's build some bridges. Let's talk to people. Let's have some conversations, because like at the end of the day, just because like I look different than you, Nate, doesn't mean that like we are completely different people. Like totally. We both are children of God, and we both we both bleed the same blood, and we were both made by the same creator. Like if we were all blind like that lady from Avatar, have you ever seen Avatar?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
What's
like,
her name?
Wait, the movie or the
No.
The TV show.
The cartoon.
Yeah, the cartoon.
Why am I spacing on her name?
It's like no.
Ta?
Yeah. I think that's it.
So,
like her, bro. Like legit. Like sometimes I wonder. I'm like, bro. I almost feel like my eyes are like actually blinding me in a way.
They mess with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm like
True.
my eyes are causing me to judge myself and everything else around me, when I like in reality it doesn't really matter. Like they're in a way holding me back, when like if I didn't have my eyes and I just like felt and I was just like a good person. It's like, have you seen The Chosen? Yeah. Like that lady who's blind and she's like with that other guy who's like sick or got a broken leg or something like that. Yeah. Like it's the same thing, bro.
Was it broken legs?
I don't forgot what it was. He's got something though. But it's like the same thing. Like you know, he's telling her like I'm the most handsome guy in the world, and she believes him, doesn't really care. Yeah. But he's just helping her out, and her eyes could have stopped her from getting to know that guy at like a deeper level. You know what I mean?
True.
But because she just felt it and wasn't willing to let her eyes be the reason to like for like judging him in the first place, like she just like got to know him, and they just were like had a deeper level of connection. Like that is why their relationship was like next level.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I feel like we talked about that too, with relating it back to HXP. Like a lot of teenagers, they majorly talk about like gossip or like who they're dating or like those types of things, where it's like the deeper true connection comes from like getting to know each other, like why we are the way that we are, like what our upbringing was like, how that affects our personality, like all those types of things. And sometimes it's hard to have those conversations. But yeah, when like a leader is placed in front of them and they ask more in-depth questions, they're like, oh wait, like you want to get to know me? Yeah. Like I will open up entirely, and then they won't stop talking because they've never been asked those questions before. Exactly. But it's like every interaction with someone that you're talking with, I feel like there's always something to learn, even the negative ones.
For sure.
And so I start to see interacting with people as such like a positive thing. Obviously it's positive in general, but like even the negative ones can be positive based on like what you can gain from it or what perspective shift you can gain from it.
Yeah.
And people are just great.
They
you
really
know?
are.
Like people
People are
really are
awesome.
just so good. And
Absolutely.
sometimes we have a hard time believing in humanity, but I feel like we got to shift that perspective a little bit, you know, and be more one.
Yeah.
Like that's your biggest message, isn't it?
Yeah, completely. Like I made a video just this last weekend. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I like was calling out something that this dude was saying on social media about Mormons.
Yeah.
And I was like, I came in at it like kind of like, you know, I'm gonna like argue this back and fight this back, you know, for a second. But then like at the end, I was just like, bro, at the end of the day, like, I don't care if you're Mormon, I don't care if you're Catholic, I don't care if you're Baptist, Protestant, Muslim, like, whatever you are, whatever you want to be, like, I don't care. We're all trying to be good people at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And if you really think about it, like, when Jesus came down and he taught the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the Jews, the biggest thing that he was doing is he was calling out the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And he was calling them out because for all this time they had been living the Mosaic law too far. They were living it like they're taxing things down to the very mustard seed, and they were taking things too far. And they were thinking too much about all the rules that Moses had given them from the 50 commandments, that they were like overthinking everything at that point. And to the point where now they're like, okay, well, if you live all these rules perfectly, then you are perfect. Then you are good. And then by doing that, they were like raising themselves up like, oh, like we are better than all the Jews. We are better than everyone else. And Jesus came down. He's like, yo, look, like you guys are missing the point of these commandments in the first place. They were not to lift you up. They were to humble you. And they were to teach you. And now you guys are taking things too far. And I think that if Jesus came down again, like to this world, like right now, I think he'd do the same thing again.
Yeah.
I think too often, like we look too much like at like these rules and at the commandments, and like we kind of like look at it as like as law almost. And it's like, no, like it's not law. It's teaching us things. It's teaching us these principles that are supposed to better us and help us like become better people.
Yeah.
And like literally, like you look at the story that he shared about like Bathsheba when she's bathing down in the baths. Like I've talked about this all before, and so I'm sorry if you're hearing me ramble about this again. But it's like he talks about I forget what king it is, but some king is up watching her while she's bathing. Yeah, right. And he talks about the fact that it was not when he slept with her after, because he asked the servant to go fetch her and to bring her up into his corpse, and then he slept with her. It was not when he slept with her that he committed the sin, but it was when he sat there and he watched for a little bit longer from above. And what he's talking about is like, it's like the sin starts up here. It starts in your mind, because your thoughts impact your words, which impact your actions.
Yeah.
And what he's telling us is like too often we want to judge everybody and judge ourselves based off of our actions. He's like, you guys are missing the principle. The principle is to stop it before it even enters. Like it's going to enter your mind, but it's to stop it there.
Yeah.
Don't let it become a word, and then don't let it become an action, because that's when it starts to become like habitual. Yeah. And so like everything that he's teaching us, it's like we got to kind of back up a little bit and backtrack and like look at things a little bit differently. And when you start kind of doing that and kind of like dissecting that a little bit, you start to view everyone a lot different. You start to be like, okay, like I can understand like why the Catholics kind of maybe take things a little different than we did. I kind of get like why the Muslim people kind of take things a little different than we do, or the Baptists. It's like at the end of the day, like we're all trying to be good people, and we're all trying to do good things, and we're all trying to live the gospel of Jesus Christ to the best extent that we can. And we've all been sitting here we've been playing telephone basically for the last 2,000 years with the Bible, where it's been changed and rewritten and rescripted to fit kings and rulers. And it's like, of course, like we're going to get some things wrong in this. Like there's going to be some things that we don't understand.
Yeah.
And everyone read like all these like Christian religions, we're all reading that same book, yet we all disagree on different parts of it still. and scholars and philosophers have been like arguing over this for centuries. Like, what makes you think you're gonna get it?
Yeah.
And figure it
100%.
out.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel like one of the biggest mistakes that we all make is we put God in a box.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's what the Jews, back when Jesus came down, it was like they had this very specific Old Testament commandments, strict way of living.
Yeah.
And enough so they'd put God in so much of a box that they couldn't even see that he was right in front of them. They couldn't even see that Christ had literally come down, and the Messiah that they've been waiting for was right there, because the way that they thought he would be wasn't how he came down. And I think still today we do the exact same thing. We like go over every line of every little thing, and we put God in this box, and we're like, God can't be bigger than this. He like can't give us more. That's why I love like that we have a prophet. It's like more of like, let's like keep learning and keep growing, and let's hear what God has to say about our time now.
Absolutely.
But it's really interesting how we do that. We just put God in a box, and I think we talked about this a couple episodes ago. We were talking about commandments.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. I asked Riley the question, like, what made Christ perfect?
Yeah.
Because it's like, who decided that? You know, who decided, like, Christ, he's the perfect one?
All right.
Because if it was commandments, Christ wouldn't be perfect. Like, when he came down, he broke most of the commandments of that time. You know, like, he healed people on the Sabbath. He took too many steps on the Sabbath. He did all sorts of things that, like, were technically breaking the commandments.
Right.
And I think it literally just comes down to he was perfectly one with God. Like, he, in his mind, he like would do the things that God would do if God were there in his shoes.
His will was aligned with
his will was aligned. Exactly.
100%.
And I'm like, that's what we're trying to do. And all the commandments are is like practice at living a godlike life. It's practice at being one with God.
Yeah.
And the more we keep the commandments, the more we get used to it, and the more we practice using them, the less we like need these strict rules, because the more we just innately do them.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. And that's why like
100%.
Christ didn't need a set rule of commandments, because he was just dialed. Like
he was perfect.
He was perfectly one with God, and it's like, why would he need a set rule if like, oh well, this one thing I'm gonna do this because this person needs to be healed on the Sabbath, and sorry, like this is more important, and I know better because I'm one and I'm aligned with God.
Right.
Anyways, that's what I think. It's so funny that too many people are like, oh, Mormons aren't Christian and all this stuff, because I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, we're all just trying our best to align our wills with God's, and that.
Yeah.
My definition of Christian is if you're trying to be a disciple of Christ, if you're trying to be like him, then you're a Christian in my eyes.
No, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Like, we're just as Christian as the Baptist is to the Catholic. You know what I mean? Like, why do they both agree that they're both Christian, but they can't see that we are too?
Yeah.
And I don't know. People get caught up on a lot of different things, and it gets like messy and confusing. But like back to your point too. Like, even there's this episode again. I'm sorry, I love The Chosen. There's this episode in The Chosen.
Watch The Chosen, people.
Yeah, watch The Chosen.
So
Plug. And it's when Jesus is on his way to go raise Lazarus from the dead. And all of his apostles are sitting there like absolutely astonished that he's doing this right now. They're like, you're doing what?
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing this? Like,
Yeah.
are you dumb? Like, they all started, like, you could see it in their faces. Like, they were like questioning, like, is this like who we think it is? Even though they've seen these miracles and they've seen all these things already, like in that moment, they still were like doubting. And you can see it like in Jesus's face as he wept and he sat there and he's like, bro, like I have been teaching them and telling them for all this time, like, and they still aren't getting it. Like, how is like anyone going to get this? Yeah. Like, this is like so beyond our own like comprehension. Like, even the men who were there with him every day being taught by him, even they didn't fully get it. And we're reading their scripts. It's like, of course, like there's some things that we're gonna, misunderstand about Jesus himself. Like, it's just, it's hard. It's a very difficult thing. But
no, it's 100% true. And I even think about, like, talking about being one, and so many people, and I think, like, within, like, our church, like the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, like, within our church, a lot of times we get this wrong. A lot of times we judge, and a lot of times we don't think of like, what would Jesus do in this situation? Like those apostles are just like, this is wrong, even though it's literally Jesus himself doing the thing.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times we'll judge somebody for what they wear to church, or like how they show up, or like because
or like
they
having had tattoos, you
Exactly.
know?
tattoos, or they have like a
Exactly,
piercing, and so we're like,
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
like they're not following Christ.
Uh-huh.
But I'm like, if we look back at the stories, if we look back and study, probably the best thing that we can study, which is just what Jesus did and like his actions and his character and his heart. Like he literally would be going straight up to that person and talking to him and getting to know their story.
100%.
Like once you know somebody's story, you can't help but love them. Yeah. And that's what Christ did 24/7. You know? So
100%.
It's just interesting. Like he does so many things that we just don't do for some reason.
Yeah.
Because like you said, we see things and we just judge it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, and I think too that perspective as well has been like all what has come about because of like the kind of like life that I've lived like thus far. Like when I'm on my mission and I did as I was supposed to, and I abided by the rules and by the laws, not laws, but like what seemed to be laws at the time. And I did everything I was supposed to, and then I come home and I'm like, like this was like solid. Like I was a good missionary. I did everything I was supposed to. All right, let's go to BYU. Let's go get married. And like, I go out into the real world and I'm just like, I don't know why, but for like a moment, like I started to like doubt myself, and I started to doubt my God and everything that he had done for me up until that point. And within like 6 months of being home from my mission, like I like was in the complete opposite place where I thought I was gonna be. And I was out and I was partying and I was drinking and having fun with my friends, and it's just like if I were to have a conversation with God, like I felt like he would have been like so disappointed with me at the time. And through that, like that went on for a while, and as I started slowly coming out of that, I gained like such a new and strong like perspective for myself and of who like God is and like how he works in every single individual. And it's like, I pull up now and I'm like trying to talk about Jesus and everything, and I've got tattoos, and like people like within the church, they start to assume and they'll judge me really quickly. But then like now, like I've gained like a little bit more of like of a following where people like kind of know that I'm still Mormon, and that's what I teach and that's what I practice. And even still, like even the people whose like side I was on for a bit, like the non-believers are on in my comment section blowing me up, and they're like, bro, like you got it all wrong, like you guys are wrong, like this and this and this, like you guys aren't love. And I'm sitting here like trying to like preach the message of love to people, and like trying to like be more inclusive. Like I'm trying to like talk to everyone and bring everybody in, and still people are like running away and like sitting from the outside of the group and going like, nah, bro, like screw you guys, like you guys suck, like you guys got it wrong. And I'm like, bro, like you guys are going the complete opposite way of like what I feel like we're trying to do here and what we're trying to put together. Even members like of the church as well. Like I'll have people in my comment section, like even this morning I look and there's like this huge like list of these two people going back and forth, a member of our church and a non-member, and they were just fighting, going back and forth, saying these like horrible things to each other. And like I'm sitting there watching this and I'm like, bro, I want to like comment and tell them to just both like relax and like just like put it down, walk away. Like what is this contention and arguing gonna do for you? Like this isn't gonna help anybody. Like no one's getting anything from this. Like I'm sorry, but no one's gonna like this isn't gonna help anybody out. It's like the same like on the mission too. It's like when you're out there talking to these people and they want to walk up to you and try to prove you wrong and talk to you and like Bible bash with you, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, bro, like this doesn't do anything. This isn't gonna help anyone, and like no one's gonna get anything from this. Everyone's gonna walk away from this like empty-handed. Yeah. And like the same thing like still stands for like today. I don't know. 100%. It's just like interesting. It's interesting too, just like the different ways you start to view people and life as well after all like your experiences, and not to say that you need to go experience those things for yourself. You don't need to go out and drink and party and get tattoos to like learn these things. You can learn them on your own. And I think some of the most like faithful people, honestly, are those who don't have to. Like I always looked at my mom at that time, and she would always get like so sad and upset at me for like doing all those things and making those decisions at the time. And I'd get so upset with her. I'm like, bro, like you don't understand. Like you don't get it. Like you haven't done any of these things. Like you've never like experienced or felt what I'm going through because you haven't done it for yourself. And like now, like I look back at that moment, I'm like, dude, like I was so wrong. Like she had way more faith than I ever had. Like I thought that she was just like living like an ignorant life without any faith because she wasn't trying to act or do anything. But it's like, no, like those who don't even like have to do those things, to me, I think are way more faithful than those who like do have to. Mm-hmm. Like they don't even doubt in the first place. Like I got to that place because I doubted and I was fearful and I ran away from what I knew. But like other people don't have to, and they can just like, they just know it for themselves and they can just do it. Like, and I admire that. And I'm trying to be more like that now, but
yeah. So that was in like the first like 6 months of when you got home. Mm-hmm. Did something like happen for you to like start going in that path, or was it kind of just like you were forgetting some of the mission experiences, or just your friends or peer pressure? Like, yeah, what kind of made you?
It was, actually, on my mission, I think they always like, they always tell you about how when you're on your mission, it's gonna like really bless and impact your family like while you're gone, you know. But while I was on my mission, my 2 older brothers and my older sister, they all stopped going to church and started like hating on the church low key. And I like, especially my oldest brother, like left the church completely and like turned atheist and like started hating on the church. And I was on my mission and I was like, bro, like, is this my fault? Like, am I doing something wrong? Like, I thought my family was supposed to be like getting better while I'm out here. And then I came home from my mission. And I saw that and I was like, okay, well, you know, I'm going to do what every missionary is supposed to do. I'm going to go teach my brother and help him come back, you know? And so I took that crap upon myself. I took that personally. And I went out there every single day and I'd go hang out with him. I'd talk with him and try to like help him like see things differently. I was trying to change his mind on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then slowly, like over time, like we just had like lots of deep conversations, and it always came down to like, dude, like you haven't experienced what I've experienced. Like you can't tell me what is right when like you haven't tried these things. Like you haven't tried all these like drugs and stuff. And like I was sitting there, I was like, you're right. Like I haven't. And like over time it ate at me, and I was like sitting there one day and I was like, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna prove you wrong. And I tried it, and it really is a gateway. I just like right after that, floodgates, and I just like fell into it, and I just was in it like deep for a while. And I started to like quickly realize that like this high that everyone is like chasing within all that stuff, to me, what I really started to experience is like that high is like very, very similar to the same high that I've also felt when I'm like full of the Spirit and I'm teaching somebody, or I'm like, you can like, it's like those moments when you're telling someone about God or something, and like it's like thick enough to chew, like you can feel the Spirit, you know what I mean, in the room. And those moments, that like spiritual high that you feel from those moments are so similar to the ones that they're chasing over here, except those ones you can get off of like, you know, putting something down your throat or down into your lungs for like a minute or two, and then that will last for like an hour or two. And then like after that you crash and you feel like crap, and the rest of the week you're waiting for that next high. Whereas if you go like read your scriptures, you go say your prayers, you go have like a good like spiritual conversation, that conversation not only uplifts you, but it uplifts those around you as well. And then that lasts weeks. It's like a different kind of high. It's like you can see it. It's like Satan tried to invent the same high that God has been giving us and feeding us. And he's like, I'm going to invent the same one, very similar, but it's like synthetic. And it's not going to quite get you to what God is giving you, but it's going to be similar enough and easy enough to get. That's going to be more desirable because you can get it easier and quicker. Mm-hmm. And so that's like that. I've realized that like when I was like in the depths, and I was like, bro, what am I doing? And I put it all down, and I was just like, I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna put this right. And I just started going out, talking to my friends, having these conversations, and like eventually like everything unfolded the way it did to where it is now. And I'm just like, now I can sit here across from any single person who wants to sit across from me and tell me that like any of those things is God and is like more spiritual than like the Bible or like sitting down and having a prayer. I can confidently sit here and have a conversation with those people and tell them that unfortunately they are wrong. I have been through what you've been through, and it's not what you think it is. And you are just, you have a misunderstanding of what it is. And like Satan has led you down this path to believe it, but it's not real. It's not a real reality that you're living in. Like Satan does it all the time. He does it with not just drugs and alcohol. He does it with video games. He does it with movies. He does it with music. He'll put you, our phones, like VR goggles you're put on, and all of a sudden you're in like GTA 6, like playing this like whole new world, bro. I'm like, dude, like he does it everywhere. Like I can legit, like I can step into a false reality anywhere I want, and it's easier and quicker to get there versus like this long life that we got to live now to get to like that paradise that is really worth it in the end. And it's like God is teaching you something. There's something here in the process. And it's the same with everything in life. It's like you can't go get rich quick overnight. You can't go put all your money into the slots and just hope to come out rich the next day. You can't put all your money into like the stock market and all of a sudden you're rich. It's like God builds these things over time. And when he builds them over time, they last. Versus the things that are just like overnight. And it's just like you can tell when it's synthetic versus when it's real. You can tell.
And it can crumble so fast, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
I wonder, does like that add to your credibility now? Like you're able to sit and be like, oh, but like I can relate to you. Because I feel like for me, that's always like struck a nerve that I'm like, okay, but yeah, maybe I haven't done those things to like say that I've experienced them and I know exactly what you're going through. But at the same time, I can learn through other people's experiences, or it's like, I just don't have that desire. And I heard someone else who has done X, Y, or Z, and they said that it was like the worst thing ever. Yeah. Like, why would I want to go into that rut almost? And so I feel like just like we learned through so many experiences 100%. Of our own, we can learn through other people's experiences. And it's like, well,
like the fruit of like what you're gaining from this, like the fruit that you're bearing because of like the life that you're living, like that's the only comparison you got to do. It's like you don't have to go try their apple to like know that it is bad, but you can just see the fruits that they're bearing in the life that they're living versus like the life that you're living. Some people can fake it though. People are really good at faking it. And I know some very successful people that are very good at faking it and who are doing drugs on the weekend and then working hard, successful all day. And like they come off as like they're fine and like things are okay. But like you go have a conversation with that person, like you really get down to like what like their life problem is and like what's going wrong and all these things. Like I promise you, like there's stuff underneath the surface. There are things that they're hiding, things that they don't want to share and don't want to tell you. I mean, the same goes with everybody though. I'm sure there's things for you as well.
For sure.
You know? And that's just kind of life though too. And that's just kind of how life works. It's like we're all going to make different decisions and our different decisions are going to take us different places and our different places are going to teach us different things. And at the right time, in the right place, we're going to learn those things and then we're going to move on and continue. And it's all part of God's plan. It's all part of the journey, and his plan is way better than the plan I have for myself. Every time I think I know what's right, I'm proved wrong every single time.
He's funny in that way.
Yeah,
I feel like we've experienced that a lot, where it's like,
100%.
Especially type A people.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, I'm going to do this, 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 or this, and I'm going to plan this, because, you know, we like to have a planned out life, a.k.a. myself. I'm type A. He's definitely more type B.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny, because then we leave no room for God. And every time I get smacked in the face of being like, you're right, I actually don't know better, and you create way more beauty out of my life than I ever could.
Absolutely.
And so it's just been a good process of succumbing to that and acknowledging that. But in relation to like the title of our podcast, Reuben, as far as like the Heaven Project, we like to talk about experiences of where we felt heaven on earth. Do you feel like you have some recent experiences that have been moments like that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I would even say like right now is one of those moments, personally. Like it's like I think anytime I get to share and talk about God and like my testimony, that's just like when I feel heaven. That's when I start to feel angels. That's when I start to feel the Spirit, and it's an amazing opportunity just like to talk to people and to have those conversations. Like But beyond like this conversation, like I feel like I try to have these conversations as often as I can, but I get very caught up with work and other things.
Yeah.
But like a very, very profound one as of recent would be like, HXP, of course, like sitting down with those kids and for that month of just like relying on God constantly to help me because there are things going wrong left and right. Yeah. And like I can't control any of them, but like I can control what I can control and the rest I can't, and we'll make the most of what we have here. And by those humbling experiences, when I start to realize, that I can't control these things,
yeah,
God teaches me. He's like, bro, like there's more to this than that. Like let me take control. Like let me handle this. And when I let him handle it, like that's when like heaven on earth starts to happen for me, And like again, like recently getting engaged too, like such an amazing opportunity. This time last year, had I thought I was gonna be engaged, I would have thought that you were crazy, Like it's absolutely insane that like I'm here now and like becoming the person I am, and I'm not perfect, but like we're trying to create heaven on earth every single day. But I think like I'm especially like grateful like just to be able to sit down and just like have like a conversation like this, because like it's a great start to my morning.
Mm-hmm.
I got to have this conversation about God and invite the Spirit into the rest of my day and hopefully the rest of this week, and it's just like now we've created our own little heaven on earth,
So true.
So true. I do have a question about you getting engaged recently.
Yeah.
I just want to hear, I feel like when you decide to marry somebody, obviously you love that person a lot.
Uh-huh.
And I've learned a ton marrying Riley, deciding to marry her, and like now obviously being married for a year and a few months.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned a lot about love, and in learning a lot about love, I've learned a lot about God.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious to know, what have you learned about love and about God in the process of like getting engaged and just like deciding the person that you want to marry?
Jeez, that's a deep question. Wow. It has like taught me like a ton, like I will say. It's taught me that like love is never ending and love is not perfect either. Like what I always assumed I thought love was going to be when I was younger was like this perfect like bliss little, relationship you have with like your future wife, and like everything's amazing, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like as I'm going through like the stages of my life and I'm dating and I'm going around, and I start to realize that, I'm dating all these girls and like I'm expecting perfection almost, and I'm just like, you're not gonna find perfection, but it's beautiful how nobody is perfect. But then as you start to realize that like in my imperfection, like God makes me perfect, and because of that perfection that he is, that I can be with him, it like that unity like of love helps me become like a better person. Does that make sense?
100%.
And so then like for me, finding that person became who's not the same person as me, but who's like kind of the opposite to me. Like they make my strengths, they make my weaknesses strengths, and maybe my strengths are their weakness, and we're helping each other both build each other up. And like for my relationship with Beja, my fiance, like bro, like I have never in my life like had somebody believe in me so much and motivate me and push me more in my life than anyone has ever done for me in my entire life. Like last year, like I had all these dreams and hopes and desires, and then like I was just kind of like trying to throw it all out there like a big Mod Podge, not really able to like keep myself focused and centered and like motivated on like doing those things all the time. I got like so distracted. And then like all of a sudden for her, like everything like changed. Like I all of a sudden started to see this new like possibility of the person I could become, and like the possibility of this life that I could have. And then like, I had like this Sprinter van, that I was building out. And that was like my dream. And I thought I was going to go live out that dream and go travel the world and podcast and do all those things. And, maybe I will be able to still do that, but maybe, God has a new plan for what that is going to be. And maybe I thought that was the plan that God wanted, but whereas he actually had something else for me to learn in that moment. And now I'm actually got to go do something else. And I ended up deciding that, I was going to sell my van and I was going to use that money to buy a ring for my fiance. And I was going to start aligning myself a lot more, start trying to narrow down what it is like my career is going to be, and start trying to make some money for us. That way we can live and have the life that we want to have. And like, I've never been more motivated in my life and like so like faithful in my life, and it's because of her. Like, she makes me a better believer, and she makes me more confident in myself and in God and in like everything. Like I'm walking around with confidence, and like I thought I had confidence before, bro, but she brought me more confidence than I've ever had in my life. And it's just beautiful, because like even that word, like confidence, like con means with, and fidence is with faith. So like the word is like to walk around, like confidence is to have faith in the things that you are and that you're doing. And she brings me faith in myself and in my ability to do things, which is what God wants of us, so that we can become the people he wants us to be. And so it's just like, it's just beautiful how it just like works, like round and round and round and round. And like, even though like, things aren't perfect, those imperfections humble me, put me down on my knees so that I can go turn to God and I can learn something. And it's just like over and over and over. It's beautiful. It's perfect.
That's adorable. Hopefully she's listening to this right now. Asia. He's in love.
Yeah, for real. No, I think literally the best thing that any of us can ever have is somebody that believes in us.
Yeah.
And if we just understand for 1 second that God believes in us way more than we'll ever know, then it helps like with everything. Helps you have that confidence. Helps you find somebody else who then believes in you. Yeah. Because I would say the exact same thing about Riley. Like, she just believes in me an unreal amount. To the point where it doesn't make sense. I'm like, hey, sick. I'm happy you do. So happy and lucky.
Whatever.
But yeah, also just figuring that out, figuring out that God believes in you.
Yeah.
That he's invested in you. That he sacrificed a lot to get you down to this earth, to be away from his child. Knowing that maybe you wouldn't come back. Like, that takes a lot of belief and faith in you on his part. And just to know that and to walk around with that confidence that you have a God that believes in you and a Father that believes in you is the best news ever. Yeah. It really will motivate you to do anything and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have any last questions? Wow.
Oh, wow. You guys are on the same wavelength right now, bro.
Any last things you want to say? Any last thoughts?
No, thank you. Thank you. Like this has been fun. Like, I enjoy doing this, and it's fun being able to sit down and talk with different people about it and share my testimony. And this is nice. I got the Holy Spirit with me now, so
boom, bada bang.
Yeah,
Have a moment. And something too, real fast, just to end the podcast.